Welcome to the OBG $200 Medieval 2 Total War Tournament. 1v1s, best of 3, single elimination bracket. Who's gonna win at the end? I've got no idea, but today we have Suspicious playing as Portugal. He's got his pikemen lined up here already, and they've actually set the timer, which is always good to see, and he's fighting against England. Who's his opponent? I've forgotten the name, but it'll pop up soon. Starting a bit further back now, are we? Alright, that's interesting. That's not what I expected. Basically surrendering the high ground here, to some extent, to the English, controlled by Trouty. So he's got his longbowmen here, but England's not pushing for it. If England just rushed up here and took this high ground section here, got all of his archers here, refused to push any further, he would be in a great spot, in my opinion. But he's being a bit slow about it. Might be worried he gets tired because he is just walking. Yeah, if I was Trouty here, I would full on push this. I would just have to go. Because the high ground advantage here should pretty much be a guaranteed win if he can just get his troops up here like this. That should be it, assuming they both know what they're doing and they've picked the right troops and everything. Careful with your cavalry, charging through the stakes. They're going the right way, luckily, but you gotta be careful. And it's gonna cause a problem for their retreat as well if the cavalry ever has to retreat this way. So they're gonna have to be careful there. Yeah, you gotta get in position quick, Trouty. And it is of course the best of 3, so we'll have another map at least, and then maybe a third place playoff depending how it goes. Okay, then I don't know what Suspicious here is doing. His strategy is very suspicious, if you will. I'm so funny. I don't even know what Trouty's doing either. It's like you've got the perfect position here. I mean, it's good enough. This is good enough. He's got his archers on the high ground. He's getting his shots in. I would push a bit more forwards to about here. Send the cavalry in, take out the crossbows, and then have archers right at the tip here. And then maybe the infantry just in front of them on like the midsection. So they're not going to get shot by their own arrows, but they still will hold that high ground advantage. Put them in guard mode and it should be an instant win. Assuming your cavalry do okay, that is. You do still have to somewhat worry about that. Suspicious right now, I don't know what he does. He's got to win it on the flanks at this point, because he's not going to win the high ground fight for the middle. I think it's a little too late for that. Well, it's still somewhat open. He might be able to push for it, but it's about to become too late if England plays it right. Okay, we got a bit of a slower battle going on here. And oops. And the cavalry charging in. Catching the English cavalry off guard, that's really not good for England. They lost a lot of men in that charge there, about probably 15 cavalry in that charge alone. That's not good, that's not where you want to be. And then these ones have charged, but they've been hit by the billmen. It was a sad, pathetic charge there. These guys have charged forward off the high ground and got flanked. Why are you charging off of the high ground? You're in the perfect spot here, Trouty. Why? Why? Oh no. It's about to fall apart. Trouty, what are you doing? He's bringing his spearmen in now, so okay, this is a good play, bringing the spearmen in like this, but pulling your infantry off the high ground advantage to get surrounded was not the play. You're not going to break through the pikemen, you're going to get flanked by the cavalry. You're on the flat grounds now you've lost your infantry advantage. You've still got the high ground advantage if you actually go and take it. But for some reason he's not taking it. Suspicious offered it to him, the advantage of a lifetime, and he just didn't take it. He just charged too far forwards instead. Now, doing that with the cavalry is okay because you can retreat quite quickly. He's going to charge into the crossbows here, but he's getting caught on the flank by the infantry, so he's going to lose all of his cavalry here. These guys are trying to fight through the pikemen, but they're fighting like 3 units at once, which is not going to be good for their morale. Yeah, this is a little bit closer to how you wanted it. Your troops here on a bit of high ground, them on the lower ground. but it's a bit too late for that now. The Portuguese are getting set up on the flatter terrain. You've lost so many men as it is. Yeah, Suspicious has lost 28%. Trouty has lost 35%. He threw away his advantage. And he's not charged again over here. He has just been charged. He's not paying attention to his cavalry, so he keeps getting cut down. Oh, such an unfortunate one. He's thrown away his cavalry, which he needs, because, yeah, you have to really watch for flanks in these maps. English troops breaking there. Their archers are at least getting a lot of kills, I think, but they're being shot at as well. The pikeman spear wall is starting to fall apart, which is good for England. The cavalry seems to have broken through over here. They can take out this unit quite easily now. But Portugal still has reserve cavalry all the way back there, the Knights of Santiago. I'm not liking this one for England. He had such a strong position, did Trouty, and he's thrown it away. Look at the death here. He just could not break through this pike wall with his infantry. He needed more support on the flanks. And although he eventually cut down those Portuguese conquistadors, I think he lost a lot of men on the charge. And he's going to get cut down here as well now. He shouldn't still be fighting this, I don't think, versus the infantry. He should be pulling out and then charging back in. Pull out to the high ground, charge back in, back and forth, rinse and repeat. He's charging over here, getting the spearmen in the side. Or the pikemen, sorry. But the Portuguese pikemen are pushing through, taking out the crossbows. And now the main Portuguese cavalry comes through, and that's going to cut down the final few. Charging into the backs of these guys here, so that's going to kill the spear sergeants. These guys are going to kill all the crossbows, or archers, sorry. Longbowmen, technically speaking. Yeah, so he's going to cut through all of them. These stakes aren't going to do anything. Oh, I'm having steak tonight. Just remembered that. I'm happy again now. Let's see the kills here. Yes, so 54% England's general's gone. Trouty lost his general. Suspicious has lost 54% of his army. Trouty has lost 77% of his army and the general, and it's all falling apart for him now. He just doesn't have the morale. That was a sad battle to see, because he could have really won that if he just charged into position and held it. He could have really potentially won that one. But he just... he didn't go for it, and I don't know why. Got a bit too nervous perhaps getting back close that early. But then got a little bit like... what's the word? Over-eager perhaps afterwards. To try and... maybe he realised his mistake and then it got over-eager to try and correct it, and it just didn't work out. Well done, Suspicious, though. Well played. Although I do think he made a big mistake at the start by not just pushing straight for it. Every unit getting decent kills apart from the pike militia, but you know, they're more of a purpose unit, as in they fulfill a specific purpose and that's it. They're not meant to get kills, they're meant to hold back cavalry. Right then, Suspicious goes up 1-0 in this best of 3. Can he win 2-0 and move on and eliminate Trouty? Or will Trouty win and take this to a third match? Let's find out. My final recording of the day, and then I can finally have a massive glass of orange juice. Oh, I'm looking forwards to it. And a soother for my throat as well, because it really does kill you after a while doing these. If you notice I get tired in some of them, it's usually because it's getting near to the end of the day, and I haven't had a soother for my throat. Suspicious, up 1-0 right now. He has chosen Venice, and it seems Trouty has picked Milan, Battle of the Italians here, and I've got this extra mound in the middle. I'm curious to see how both of these players play this. Are they going to rush for the centre, or are they going to be a bit more defensive? Looking at the extra time on the battle, potentially defensive. Milan focusing more on a flank type of push here. Yeah, because they're not like forming a line like Venice is. We see this happen sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you just understand there, then it's definitely not going to work. Venice is now actually in the position to do exactly what Trouty should have done in the last one. Charge up here fast. Set up like one archer unit here, one archer unit here, two archer units on the second layer, and put your pikemen like halfway up the slope. They'll still have the high ground, but they can cover everything. Then give them some swordsmen as well, cavalry in the flank to make sure nothing flanks through. That is the perfect setup. And is Trouty going to let him do it? I think he just might. Ooh, balance of power is 50-50. The game thinks it should be an even fight. Although it does give a slight advantage here to Trouty in terms of troops. But in terms of positioning here, I really like how this is looking for Suspicious. He's going to take the double high ground, the centre with his crossbows, and these crossbows are going to dominate up here. They're going to get so many kills. Are there any trebuchets or anything? No, another crossbow unit coming up. He's got infantry nearby to support. They start shooting in, down at these guys here who are in loose formation. Oh no, he's actually shooting at these, which I think is even better. Yeah, getting some good early kills on the dismounted broken lancers. And that's good because these are a very heavy, expensive unit. So getting kills on them early on is very valuable. Getting some hits on the crossbowmen as well, and the crossbows, they're not getting that many hits on the Venetian crossbows. They're really taking advantage of that high ground. Although the Venetian crossbows I think should be in loose formation. Actually I think they are. Yeah, I think they are in loose formation, it just doesn't look as loose. But yeah, the high ground advantage here is going to really work out for these crossbows. I'm curious to see how many kills they get for Venice at the end. If this keeps up for a while, it's going to be a lot. Yeah, if having to pull their infantry back now, being shot at in the back as they flee. You can probably bring a couple of cav units this way to hit the crossbowmen, chase them back a bit. More Genoese crossbows coming on the flank, but Venice, they hold the high ground now. Can they do what Trouty should have done in the last battle and really get a good foothold up here? I think they're going to do it, but don't charge too far, don't give up the high ground position. Oh, it looks like he's going to do it. It looks like he's giving up the high ground position to push a bit further, to really try and push him back. Interesting, he just wants the battle then. Not how I would personally play a battle like this, but maybe he's just really confident and maybe he just wants to scare him back a little bit. He's got the high ground control as it is with those crossbows. Maybe what it is, and I just want to pause it, he's only got 2 crossbowmen and he's outnumbered in terms of crossbows. So maybe he's not actually that comfortable sitting back and playing the defensive game because he might lack the missiles because he never expected to have this formation. Maybe that's it. So now he's feeling the need to push to make up for his lack of missiles. So even though it's an advantage, he didn't bring the right troops to really take advantage of the advantage, if that makes sense. Either way, getting his cavalry charges in here. Gotta be careful. He is outnumbered in terms of cavalry, and he is about to get flanked in the side. I keep seeing broken lances, and I keep assuming they're broken, as in routing. Every time I read broken, our brain jumps to that. The infantry are fully engaged now, all across the frontier. They've still got the high ground as well. I don't know why this unit of Trouty's isn't charging in the backs of these yet, because they could quite easily wipe out a load of them, the Venetian cavalry. Looking good for Suspicious with the infantry fight. So far his pikemen are engaging quite well. He's engaging here quite well. What are the stats looking like? He has lost 23% but he's killed 28%. And these guys have made it all the way round to here, putting a lot of pressure on the crossbowmen. Well, we've got a duel, a 1v1, a dismounted feudal knight versus a Genoese crossbowman in melee. Sword versus sword. You've got to favour the dismounted knight, surely. But the crossbowman's he's doing good, he's holding his own here. Nice punch in the face there. Wow, this fight's going on for a while. I won't see the rest of it, but I gotta focus on this now, I'm invested. Who wins this is gonna win the battle. That's my assumption. If I was one of the crossbowmen though, I'd one of these guys, I'd put a crossbow in his back to defend my buddy. And there we go. The dismounted feudal knight won. Shame on you guys for not shooting him in the back. So disappointing. And remember kids, shooting someone in the back is the safest way. A little Star Trek line there if anyone recognises it. Cavalry charge in the back here. Ooh, getting a lot of kills for Milan there. Well done, Trouty, and that's breaking a unit as well. Can Trouty bring this back and make it a 1-1 on the scorecard? I think he can do it here. Especially with another cav charge coming this way. Gotta be careful with those pikemen though. But no, it overall went quite well for him. But then again, Venice has only lost 54% and killed 63%. In terms of kills, it's looking really good for Venice. He has stormed through the middle as well. Oh yeah, Milan's actually really struggling in the middle here. Yeah, some of these cav units are getting kills, but that's about it. No one's really using the high ground, they're using it more as grassy flatlands. But that's fine, as long as the battle is quick, I'm fine with it. This is what this King of the Hill bit is all about. It's just about speeding the battles up a bit. Because sometimes it can take about 30 minutes before anyone starts shooting any form of arrows on grassy flatlands, as both try to corner camp. It really doesn't work sometimes. But I'm happy to see that these maps do really speed it up a bit, even if they do turn it into grassy flatlands sometimes. And I like to say they've still technically got the high ground bonus. But they're as close as possible. And Venice, they've got a lot of troops over here, really starting to surround Milan now. Yeah, they've killed 85% of the Milanese, they've still got a massive chunk of their army left. I think Suspicious is going to win it. I think Suspicious is going to go up 2-0 in this. Move through into the tournament. Well, move through further into the tournament. And Trouty, I believe, is about to be eliminated. Well played Suspicious, and well played Trouty as well. Yeah, killing the general there, that is the final cutting blow. Well done Suspicious on moving through. And let's see his stats now. And remember, $200 prize pool here. Check out the OBG Discord server linked down below to check out future events that you could possibly take part in. That's a lot of kills on the cavalry, especially the general. How many crossbows did he bring then? Yeah, I mean, it does work, but when you only bring 2 crossbowmen, and the other guy I think probably brought 4, you can't really hold the defensive formation. It's probably not the best place, so in this scenario, it does make sense that he did actually push that. Pikemen doing their job. And yeah, the infantry doing well as well. 127 kills on that one, that is good. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next ones. I think next I'm covering the semi-finals, 3rd place playoff, and the big grand finale, which I'm hoping is going to be a best of 5, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, thank you for watching, but until the next one, goodbye.